Social Security, you know you're not getting a cost of living increase. Did you know that for 2011?
Yes.
So it's probably not a surprise to most folks. You do know that the Medicare premiums are going up, right? Medicare subs going up. So it's a real squeeze play on older Americans. And I don't see any relief in the future. I see the squeeze play going on and on and on. Do you know how many Americans turn 65 every day in this country? Take a guess. How many Americans turn 65 in our country every day? Take a guess.
500,000.
Half a million? I hope not.
10,000.
Almost 7,000. 7,000 every day, and that will go on for 20 years. So you take who's a math wizard here? 7,000 times 365 days times 20 years is a lot of people turning 65. So anyway, it is a real concern for a lot of institutions, including our governments, on what to deal with, but the squeeze is to squeeze more out of you rather than have the institutions that you would normally rely on to pay the bill. Okay, I mean, the bottom line is going to be the consumer, the older American is going to be squeezed for more and more payout as opposed to the institutions doing it for you. Just keep that in mind. So the planning that you have to do is with that in mind. You know the trend. I've just told you the trend. So the planning you do is you have to say, okay, if this trend is true, and you have to decide whether you believe me or not, this trend is true, what am I going to do to protect myself from this trend? And that goes into the planning. Pensions are, you know, private pensions are going away. If you have one, you're very fortunate, and I congratulate you. Some husbands and wives haven't figured out or don't know if one that has the pension dies, how much is going to go to the remaining spouse. Please find that out. That's always a very important thing to find out for planning purposes. Okay, so know what that relationship is. IRA distributions. When do I take distributions? Many financial planners, if you have an IRA or a 403B or a tax-sheltered annuity, something where pre-tax dollars have gone into, most financial planners say, oh, leave that in there, leave it. You don't have to take it out till you're 70 and a half, leave it in, take minimum, right? Anyone heard that from a 401? You know, take minimum. After you're age 70 and a half, you have to take out minimum required distribution. And so my philosophy is at odds with most financial planners, because I advise my clients to go to the tax-deferred money first. Get that out first and invest your tax-paid monies in investments that will accumulate tax-deferred. So your tax burden is your Social Security and your pension perhaps, and then your distribution from your IRA. Now, why do I say all this? Because most severe disabilities causing extremely high costs will hit in the late 70s and through the 80s. And if you have a pre-tax account still with a sizable amount of money in it, then to protect that, we have to take a heavy tax burden right away. So it's better to have, like if you're late 60s, early 70s, you know, set an 8 to 10 year plan for yourself to empty your 401k or your tax qualified accounts, and go ahead and pay those taxes, but invest the money in a way that will defer taxes to later, and you'll use that money later in your retirement. Just an idea to consider when you have your distribution talks with your financial planner.